I'm Greg Nicholson, and welcome to MBK Lounge. As you guys know, that this is a show about men, it's for men. Everything we talk about is things that are of interest to men. And today, we're going to talk about health. And it's funny because, growing up in church, there was a lot of emphasis, and even today, about our spiritual health, or my spiritual health. And the reality is that as guys, we talk about playing ball and running and doing all this stuff, but really in church, there really isn't as much emphasis as there could be around our physical health. So I really wanted to take some time to talk about, a show where we need to take care of ourselves. We talk about living long and strong and with nothing wrong. Well, we got to do our part. Jesus died on the cross. He defeated sickness and death. That's the spiritual side. But if I'm doing everything wrong to live long, it's just not going to happen. So as I was getting ready for the show today, I did some research, and I found an article by a guy by the name of Dale Fletcher. And he talked about 5 reasons why God wants us to be healthy. It's really interesting. Take a listen. The first one is it glorifies God, because the Bible talks about how everything that we do needs to glorify him. Number 2, he talked about how our body is God's temple. So obviously, if we need to take care of the church building, we got to take care of this building. Number 3, he said that being healthy is a good witness, because people watch us. The Bible talks about they know who we are by the love we show one another. Well, people watch us and they look at us in totality. So it's another way we can be a good witness. The next one, number 4, was you'll have a lot of energy, or you'll have more energy. And the reality is God has asked us to do certain things, our family, our hobbies, all that kind of stuff. By taking care of ourselves, we'll have more energy doing it. And the 5th one was he didn't have one. Today, with our guests, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to build on that 5th reason. So as usual, stay tuned, sit back, let's take a commercial break.
You've been a good enough father. I don't want to be a good enough father.
Let's go, let's go!
Don't quit! Don't quit!
Hey, you know what? I thought your jump roping routine was really good.
I just got a notification that you moved money from our savings into your checking account.
Can we talk about this later?
You must be the real estate agent.
Well, it's so good to meet you.
Let me show you the house.
This is my favorite place in this house. I call it my war room.
You wrote prayers for each area of your life.
Prayer strategy.
I sure could use some of that. Tony, you should go see her practice tomorrow.
I'm out of town this week.
When were you going to tell me?
I just did.
Tony!
That was my favorite rep.
I'm real good. How you doing?
I wish I lived at your house. Whenever my parents are together, they just fight.
Dude, I can't get a pass from you. It'd be easier to baptize a cat.
I just needed to blow off a little steam, okay?
There's one thing we do well. It's fight.
You do not want World War III to break out in your home.
No, I don't.
Just because you argue a lot doesn't mean that you fight well. You got to plead with God so that he can do what only he can do. Then you got to get out of the way and let him do it. You need to do your fighting in prayer.
Keep fighting the good fight. Keep letting your light shine. 'Cause
I've never seen anybody do what you did.
It's time for you to take off the gloves and fight for your marriage.
Keep fighting the good.
Lord, we need an army of believers. Lord, call us to battle. Raise them up, Lord, raise them up.
Fighting the good, fighting the good, fighting the good fight, good fight.
All right, welcome back to MBK Lounge. Today, like I said, we're going to talk about being in good health, taking care of ourselves as men. And I have with me today Mr. Anwar Miller. What's happening, man?
How you doing, sir?
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good, good. Glad you could be in the lounge with us today. You know, we're talking about health, and I'm really trying to get the guys. I know they have a desire to take care of themselves. Mm-hmm. I mean, the other night I was out with a friend of mine, and he was talking about how, man, I got to start working out. I got to start doing something. And so I know that there is a desire, but it's not always easy.
Right.
You're a family man. You have a job. You have your own business. Mm-hmm. Man, how do you fit it in? How do you, take your busy schedule and take time out to be, live a healthier lifestyle?
Well, Greg, is interesting. I think the first thing it came down to was really the strong desire to want to do it.
Okay.
And once that sort of desire and that will came in, then it was a matter of, how can I look at my schedule and stretch myself?
Okay.
So one thing that I actually did was I was trying to get up at 5:30 in the morning forever. And, and that was like a goal for like a year, like 2 years. Like, I'm get up 5:30 in the morning, I'm exercising.
Something about 5:30, right?
Right. Something about 5:30. Didn't work, right? Didn't happen. Right?
Yeah.
But I convinced another brother to get up at 5:30 in the morning too,
okay,
and work out with me. So now I was held to account, where we were meeting at the gym. So I'm not going to not show up. I got this guy to get up. I'm not going to not show up.
Right.
So that kind of helped me in terms of being consistent about getting up at 5:30 in the morning before everything really kicks off. And to be honest with you, you have more energy during your day anyway. So even though you're getting up earlier, you actually have more energy as your day starts, which was great. So that was one of the first things that I did is working with him and just kind of sticking it in wherever you can. The other thing too is I didn't make it a long production. Like I didn't.
What do you mean?
Like for example, okay, one of the things I did was start running.
Okay.
Well, I didn't go buy the running shoes, the clothes, gotta go to the park and get the ointments, and I didn't do all that. First thing I did.
You didn't run in Converse, did you?
Right.
Some chucks.
I had some sneaks, but not Converse.
Right.
But the first thing I did is I just. Leave out your house and run around the block.
Right.
Before I go do a whole gym membership and go to the park, just leaving out my house, just running a little bit around the neighborhood. It took like 20 minutes, came back in. And then what happened is after creating a consistent habit, then I elongated the time that I would spend exercising.
So check this out. I always, try to find some information or facts that are quite interesting actually around this whole health thing. Mm-hmm. I was reading an article from Men's Health magazine, and it talked about the things that, men, these are things that we should be concerned about or think about. So here's what I thought was interesting. It said that men spend more time shopping than exercising. Dude, men don't like shopping, but statistically, this is who we're talking to, right?
Yeah,
I mean, we're trying to encourage the guys to get more, take care of themselves. So when you hear something like that, which is shocking, we spend more time shopping. It's 36 minutes to 25 minutes of working out. I mean, when you hear that, man, what is your first thought?
And my first thought is probably absolutely true. Because, before I start, first of all, I didn't play sports in college.
Okay.
I didn't play sports in high school.
Okay.
I don't watch sports. I'm not athletic. So, or I wasn't. Let me put it that way. So when it came to let me go to the gym, I wasn't one of those guys that jumped up and said, yeah, I'm all excited about that. So just thinking about working out made me tired. So I believe the statistics is true.
But I like the fact that you said that you didn't play a lot of sports and do a lot of things in the past, and that helps guys who you got the ex-athlete who used to be All-America when they were younger and now they're not doing it, and then you have the guy who never really participated in sports in general, but yet you were able to do what you do now in terms of exercising.
Yep, that's right. And I'll tell you, I gotta tell you a secret, because you talked about the fourth thing, and you was on that fifth thing, and I was like, when you were saying the four things, I was like, something is missing. And here's what's missing, fellas. So my wife. So one of the reasons why I decided to start working out is because I wanted to be irresistible to my wife.
That's what I'm talking about.
If you're married, great. If you're single, then you need to be irresistible to the person you're trying to attract.
That's right.
I wanted to be irresistible to her. So I wanted to really kind of sculpt myself to be a little bit more attractive to her. Now I was already attractive to her, of course, but
that's why she married you,
to be irresistible.
That's why she married you, right?
So that was a motivation for me, and I want to have energy with my children, and that was the motivation. And once I kind of got that piece in there, man, then it was like, okay, now let me just set a goal. And I think that's the key thing. Like we say I'm gonna get up and exercise. What I did first is I signed up for this like relay marathon.
Yep.
And now I had a target. I had a goal. I was working towards a purpose. And that really helped push me to just continue to train a couple of miles a week to get myself ready for a goal that I had set.
But you probably also, it wasn't just the exercise. It was also how you decided to eat a little differently too, right? Is there a diet piece to what you've been doing?
Yeah, there is. The diet.
He had a hoagie last night, right?
The diet piece, like, so with me, you get yourself together, you go out there, you exercise, you run, whatever you do, right? And then you look at your calorie thing. It's like, oh, you just burn 400 calories. You just burn 800 calories by doing this run.
Right.
And then you go to the Starbucks, you look at that lemon pound cake, and that's 400 calories.
Right.
It's like, I got to run 5 miles to burn that off. So naturally, it made me, stop eating some of the junk food because it was counterproductive to my goals. So I cut out soda, cut out some of the sweets, and again, just for a period of time. You don't have to cut it out completely, and what'll happen is you'll eventually stop desiring them by just cutting them out after a small period of time.
Well, there's probably a guy out there right now with his hand in a big family-sized bag of something, drinking a soda, which has 15 to 18 teaspoons of sugar, right?
Yep.
Who is struggling with getting this whole workout thing, eating healthier. What are your final thoughts to encourage that brother to do something different?
My final thought is that forever is hard, but a day is easy, right? So, when you say I'm going to transform myself and there's no end point to that, then that's hard to do. I'm going to transform everything. But if you say, you know what, let me do a 60-day or a 90-day cleanse. Let me do a 30-day. But just do a 30-day cleanse and say for 30 days, I'm not going to, put my hand in that big bowl of gook or whatever, right? I'm not going to have sugar, or I'm not going to eat these cakes. Just do it for 30 days. And you will find after you do it for 30 days, then you can begin to change a lifestyle. But, the big things start with small beginners. So you just got to start small and grow into it. And the last thought that I'll leave too is some of the results, man, is, now me and my wife, I think,
a couple of guys are already going, okay.
And, endurance and stuff elongated. So, hey, look, do it for you. And if not for you, do it for your wife or do it for your future wife.
Yeah. Anwar, it's a pleasure, man. Appreciate you coming into the lounge and sharing different ways for guys to think about health.
Thank you.
So we'll be right back, guys. Keep listening.
Check out Divine Cuts in Newcastle, Delaware, promoting a family, faith-filled environment. Call or book your appointment online today.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the MBK Lounge. And let's get to our next guest, Mr. Henry Naylor. What's up, man?
Hey, Greg.
How you feeling?
Pretty good. How are you?
Welcome to MBK Lounge, man. I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.
So, we're talking about health, right? We want the men to live long and strong with nothing wrong, right?
Right.
But it's not easy.
Right.
Life is busy.
Right.
Let me share this with you, man. I've done a little bit of research, and did you know that the average man watches more than 3 hours of TV a day? Wow. Think about it. Works all day, comes home, and sits back down and watches 3 hours of TV. Check this out. We spend, that drive on average is 101 minutes. So we're doing a lot of sitting down, work, driving, and then we get home and watch television. So when you hear things like that, does that sound like maybe where you were before you decided to live a healthier lifestyle?
For me, it wasn't so much TV.
Okay.
My kids play travel sports, so I would drive home and then drive to some practice, and I would stand around, talking with other parents, but I was sedentary regardless. I was stand and not sit, but I wasn't active at all. I mean, my high school weight was 148 pounds. And when I met my wife, I was 148 pounds.
Okay.
And when I looked in the mirror one day, I was 208 pounds.
Oh,
and,
right.
you know, I have pictures of, you know, this big round face and, you know, 6 inches on my belly that's not there now. And that was from, you know, eating and sitting and standing in my case, but just not having any real activity in my life.
So there had to have been some things that motivated you to say, all right, this isn't good. This isn't right. This is not how I want things to continue. Talk a little bit about that, because the guys need to hear, how do I go from the, you know, where you were to living healthier?
There were a couple of things that happened. One, I look in the mirror and I think about my wife and what she saw when she looked at me. And that was unpleasant, to be honest. And over last year, 2015, several men that I knew and admired passed away, whether it had been from heart attacks or from cancer. And as the year went on, I was in prayer one morning, late 2015, and it just hit me. I was living a lie. You know, in our household, we say, I love you, you know, to each other all the time. And it hit me. If I really loved my wife, if I really loved my kids, then I had to do things to be here to continue to express that love to them. And I wasn't. I was slowly dying. You know, with the fat on my belly, I was just waiting for some typical male disease to hit me. And a good friend of mine at the same time was preparing for the Philadelphia Marathon. And he was a regular guy, you know, probably a little overweight. I never saw him with a shirt off, but you know, he was probably a little overweight.
I think I know that dude.
He probably did. And, you know, I watched him. You know, we talk on the phone pretty regularly. And we talk, and what are you doing? Oh, I'm running, man, 5 miles a day. I'm running 8 miles a day. I'm running 12 miles a day. You know, and I watched this dude go from standing on the side of the soccer field, sitting in his chair watching the Eagles, to running 26 miles. I physically went to the marathon and celebrate that event with him, because that really was the cherry on top of this whole transition for me. If he can do this, I can do this. A quarter of my body fat later, you know, being gone, I did it with God's help.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. I mean, I know, you know, offset, you know, I know you, right? And I know that, you know, you're working out a lot, you're going to the gym, and, you know, that's the exercise side, right? But I also know there is the eating or the diet side, right? And I'm not just saying, you know, you're eating, you know, bird seed or that kind of stuff, but I know that that's also a part of, you know, of your formula relative to how you want to live healthier. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, I consider it cheating, right? I set myself up to succeed. So during the church fast last year, so you know, it was November. I made the commitment. I did some research, found a trainer. Can I say his name?
I guess so.
So I found Mr. Barry Ford, and we connected.
What up, Barry?
He trained me. So I started during the church fast, and I did a fast, you know, 21 straight days, not 6 to 6. So my diet was very lean, and that was the most difficult part of it. So I had a new personal trainer that was very rigorous, but equipping me, building, you know, foundational stuff. Couldn't have done it without him. In fact, you know, years past, I tried to get fit, and I might do it a week, I might do it a month. I couldn't be consistent. But now I was under contract for 90 days. So I kind of had to do this because I had skin in the game. I was committed to paying for this, whether I did it or not. So it behooved me to carry it out. And Mr. Barry was very motivational. You know, he didn't make it so hard I couldn't do it. And as time went on throughout the fast, my diet was very, very lean. And February 1st came, and I could eat. And when I could eat, I didn't lose my mind because I was also, you know, counting calories that I was burning. I didn't want to go and eat a Big Mac meal and put on 1,200 calories When I knew in my head, now that's going to take me, that's like more exercise than I can get in 2 hours worth of work to burn off that 1,000 calories.
So check this out. So obviously this is a show to get guys to do something different. You talked a lot about how you were motivated, the things that drove you to really do what you're doing now. Any thoughts that you want to share briefly with the guys to encourage them to want to live healthier? Any final thoughts? Anything you might have left out briefly?
I mean, I think the biggest piece of it is when you get on the other side of it. I'm like my teenage sons now. I walk around with no shirt on. I love how I look. I love how my wife looks at me.
Another plug for the wife. Another plug for that wife piece. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I applaud her because her tolerance of how I looked without complaining, it was incredible. It had to have been tough because I looked bad. But now I like how I look, a lot. And it's a lifestyle for me. I take an hour, never more than an hour, unless I'm with her. She goes to the gym with me one night a week and I do 2 hours. But otherwise, never more than an hour, whether I'm running or biking or in the gym. I keep it condensed, in and out, and it's changed my life.
Henry, thanks for coming to the lounge. Appreciate it. And guys, listen, we're not done yet. I'm trying to convince you. I got one more guest. Stay tuned.
Infamous star Gavin Stone became a fixture on the party scene.
Dad, you in trouble?
A little.
What kind?
Kind where you can't leave the state until you've completed your community service hours.
Hey, do you know where the pastor's office is? You're Gavin Stone.
You recognize me.
Should I?
How'd you know my name?
It was printed at the top of your rap sheet. I'm Alan Richardson, pastor.
Ah.
So,
what is it exactly that I'll be doing?
I've never acted before, but I'm willing to serve the Lord in whatever way you see fit.
As gifted as I am with a mop, I'm 10 times better on stage.
We ask that all cast members be Christians.
I am one. I've had the passion of the Christ for a couple years now.
Is that it?
No. Hi, everybody. My name is Gavin Stone. I'm auditioning for the role of Jesus Christ. Superstar.
Let's just dive right in.
What if you drop a single spot on me?
That is the exact opposite of what Jesus was about.
Really?
Don't you pick up on that when you read the Gospels?
Well, yeah, when I read the Gospels, I pick up on that a little bit. Great first rehearsal, and have some thoughts. Coffee, maybe?
No, thanks.
Okay.
Don't sweat it. She's just under a lot of stress, especially being a PK. Pastor's kid.
She's Alan's daughter?
Yeah.
Hey, sorry.
Wow.
I figured I might as well start diving into character.
Nice.
Blessings, peace be to you.
This is my body, broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me.
I don't think he gets the story.
But isn't this why we do what we do?
Welcome to Cars for Single Moms. Here you go. Put that on. This is the best part.
Why don't you come over there?
No. Since you know who did it.
Exactly.
We don't want the credit.
Hashtag words I've never said to my agent. Why do you care if I stay?
Because you said you would.
I was rude and selfish, and you guys gave me a second chance.
This is what we do.
I surrender. My way didn't work. I missed out on all this. Into your hands, I commit my spirit.
I think he needs us as much as we need him.
I don't know how this thing you have with God works exactly, but I like what it does.
We really do believe in second chances here.
All right, welcome back to MBK Lounge, and I'm here with my next guest, Brother Milton Reeves III. What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
I'm so glad you're here in the lounge. You know what this is. You know what we're talking about today. We're talking about trying to encourage the men to live healthier lifestyles. And you know what it's like, right?
Absolutely.
You are in various ministries. You have a wife. You have children. I mean, you're a busy man. And it's not easy for us to always do what we're supposed to do. But yet, we know as men, we really want to. And it's just, it's that gap in between the desire and doing it. So I know that this is something that you've been working on for a while. So talk a little bit about your journey.
Well, my journey started about 11 months ago.
Good. I thought you were going to say 11 when you were 11 months old. So go ahead and continue.
Like I said, my journey started about 11 months ago, where I made a decision to do a lot of lifestyle changes. And I mean, from just working out, got a nutritionist, you know, saw a doctor, you know what I mean, because I had a lot of health problems, a lot, you know, blood pressure, you know, things like that.
Right.
And, you know, so I had to really make some life choices, you know, some lifestyle changes so that I can be around for my wife and be around for my children. You know, the working out, I mean, you know, swimming 5-6 times a day, getting up at 5:30 in the morning to...
You said 5 or 6 times a day?
No, I'm sorry. 5 or 6 times a week.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, 5 or 6 times a week.
You like Michael Phelps.
No. I would swim 5 6 days a week. You know, I would you know, walk in the morning. You know, my Fitbit. You know what I mean? Either on the elliptical machine. I have an elliptical machine in my house. I have a treadmill in my house. So you know, just a weight bench in my house. So you know, so if I couldn't get to the gym, then you know, it was going to get done.
Right.
You know, so.
So you got like a full staff. You're talking about nutritionists and doctors and all kinds of equipment. Now, you're not saying that everybody has to necessarily take that approach, right?
No. And I think everybody's situation is different.
Right.
My situation was different because, you know, I was a very large, I was a very big guy.
Right. Now you Slim Shady.
You know, so, you know, I mean, if you're talking about, you know, losing, you know, 40, 50 pounds, then no, you don't have to go as extreme. But for me, you know, I had hundreds of pounds to lose.
Okay.
So, you know, I had to really, you know, crack down and, you know, I mean, from just, you know, like, for example, I haven't had beef in, you know, this whole year. You know what I mean? So just doing a lot of those things to, you know, just to make myself healthier.
Right. Now, I don't want all the beef farmers, you know, sending us messages. It's not like, you know, you can't eat beef, but that's one of the steps that you took.
Right. You know, and that was a choice that I made.
Right.
You know, nothing wrong with beef. You know, I mean, beef is protein.
Right.
So, you know, and you guys need protein.
Right.
Some of the things that I chose to do instead of eating beef was I would do chicken.
Right.
Or, you know, I don't really like fish, but, you know, sometimes I would eat fish.
Got it.
I would do turkey, you know, things like that. Everything was lean. A lot of stuff was organic. I don't always do organic, but I try to. You know, I mean, I would drink I would drink a lot of water. You know, half my weight in ounces.
Wait. You drank how much water?
I would drink half my weight in ounces.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know what I mean? So, you know, just stay hydrated.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know, I mean, just I mean, it's a lot of things that, you know, that you can do. And a lot of these ideas I got from, you know, my doctor, my nutritionist. So, you know, for me, I had to really get a team around me.
Right.
To help me in my journey.
And here's what's interesting about that. It's the team that we need to have around us can look a lot of different ways. You know, some of the other guests talked about the benefits with their wife, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, they alluded to the support there. One of our guests, you know, said that he goes to the gym with his wife. Mm-hmm. And what that team around you looks like is going to vary. But for you, it was, like you said, your doctor, your nutritionist, and that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. But you've also talked about eating. I've done a little bit of research, and I want to share something with you. It said about how our eating habits as guys. Mm-hmm. It said that more than 2 out of 3 men take less than 20 minutes to eat dinner. So we sit all day, we drive home, watch TV, and then we scarf down our food. Mm-hmm. And you know the implications of that, right? That when you eat real fast, about an hour later, you're hungry again.
Right.
One other thing, and it's around food preparation. The average man spends just 17 minutes a day on food prep. So you know what we're eating. Right. We popping bags. Right. Right? We popping bags. Yeah. So talk a little bit more about some of the stuff that you're doing to eat differently. You mentioned, you know, you don't eat as much of the meat and whatever. What does your food preparation look like?
Man, my food preparation starts on Sunday evening. Okay. I pretty much know what I'm going to eat for the next 4 or 5 days. You know, a lot of times, you know, I always eat breakfast. You know, I mean, typically I always eat breakfast.
And that's good because 1 out of 4 men don't eat breakfast.
Mm-hmm. And I also try to eat 5, 6 small meals a day. to keep the metabolism high. A lot of times, if you miss breakfast and, sometimes, with our work schedules being so hectic, you end up eating that big lunch, or sometimes, you might work through lunch, and by the time dinner comes around, you're ready to pull over to the drive-through and
get number 3.
No, get 2 number 3s.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? So you really have to do those things. Like I said, eating breakfast, getting plenty of water. Totally, cut out the sugary, the sodas, the juice. If I do juice, it's like Crystal Light or some other things.
Right.
There
a lot less sugar.
A lot less
low
sugar.
sugar. Right.
You know what I mean? Like I said, every individual is different, so they might not have to go as extreme as I did.
Right.
But no, just slight lifestyle changes, and like I said, prepping your meals in advance is key. Yeah. I mean, and it helps you, to be a lot more organized, and you pretty much know exactly, what you're going to do. So that way you don't have to, order out. You don't have to go to the drive-through.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else, briefly, that you would like to say to encourage the men?
Well, I would like to say, definitely think about your family. One of the main reasons why I made the lifestyle changes that I made was because I wanted to be around to enjoy my wife. I wanted to be around to raise my children. I wanted to be around to walk my daughters down the altar, down the aisle. And also, if you're struggling, get the help that you need. Don't wait till you're getting bad news from the doctors and things like that. If you can do it now, start now. Don't put it off. Start as soon as possible, and ask God for help. God said He'll never leave us nor forsake us, and use that. And like I said, I'm anybody any help questions, I'm here as well.
Okay, we'll put your phone number out there. Hey, man, appreciate you coming on, Young Milt. And you know what, guys? Hey, this is a show today about just being healthier. And I had 4 reasons that I shared with you at the beginning of the show, and I promised you a 5th. Well, really what you got was a multitude of reasons to live a healthier lifestyle. The Bible talks about, above all else, being in good health. And I'm hoping that after today, you've heard the stories, you've seen the guests, that today you take those small steps to live strong, to live long, and with nothing wrong. So that's it for today. Be blessed and be strong in the Lord.